In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a images only presentation using Adobe Express. To start with, we're going to open a presentation, and usually there's one suggested down here. If not, you can hit the plus and search for one. But we're going to open this presentation. It gives us some templates, but we don't need a template for this, so we're going to close this for now. The first thing you have to do is to insert a picture to start with, and we need to do our title slide, which is the only slide that has text on it. So I'm going to say media. I'm going to make sure that it's on photos, and I'm going to search for a night. Okay, so we get some pictures of nights here. Let's look for one that's going to fill up the whole page. Either this one or this one. Let's see. If you bring in one you don't like, you can click it and hit the backspace or delete, and it'll get rid of it. Yeah, I like this knight on a horse, so we're going to go with this guy. So I'm going to put it up in the corner and grab the other corner and stretch it until it takes up the whole page. And I like this too because it gives me some room down here or maybe even up here to put my text. I'm just going to put knights. So I click the text button. A lot of different types of text here. These may be a little too fancy, but if you could find one of those you like, you could do it. Or you could just say add your text. It'll give you a plain text box. I'm going to put it down here. I can pick a different font if I like it. Let's say we'll go with this one. And then I can type what I want. Okay, let's make that a little bigger. We can even type a number in. And I'm going to move it up a little bit so it's easier to see. And there we go. We've got a slide. All right. To add a new slide, you're going to simply hit Add Page, and now you get your first one. Let's say I wanted in this one a knight practicing in a courtyard of a castle with other knights. So again, I'm going to go to Media. I'm going to type knight. And right away, I don't see any knights practicing in a courtyard. So, I'm kind of wondering how I'm going to do that. Well, you can combine some different images here to make it work. Here's definitely some knights practicing fighting. So I'm going to click that and bring this picture in. What I'd like to do, though, is add a new background. So the first thing I'm going to do is get these two knights, fill in the whole page. But then as I'm clicked on this picture, you notice I have other options here, and one of them is remove background. So when I click that, it takes a few seconds, but this gray background has now disappeared. Unfortunately, it took some of his sword with it, didn't it? That's okay. I can just make them a little bigger. And now they're in it. But I want a background. I want something in the background. I want that courtyard. Since I could search for courtyard, but I'm just going to say generate image and use the AI art generator. I pick what shape I want, in this case, widescreen. And I'm going to say a courtyard of a castle with knights practicing. You'll notice right now this picture is very small, but it's generating it. And I get a lot of different options here. I really like some of these. I like this one though. Now at this point I can put this at the corner, drag it here, and it looks like it's replacing my scene. But what I can do is click over here, and this will show you the layers. And right now, the knights are on the bottom. I actually want them on the top of this, like it was a layer cake. So I'm going to drag this layer down. That puts these knights on the top, and now they are on top, and I see the background behind them. Okay. Now, if I decided I didn't like these knights, I could always just delete them, and I could find another knight or knights practicing. So for example, I could scroll down here and I can find this knight. He looks like he's about to start practicing, or maybe he's already been practicing. And again, I can use the trick where I remove the background. And once I do, you can see what's behind. All right. That's how you use a combination of the different image tools to create images for you in Adobe Express. Now, once you're done with your slideshow, you can either present it up on the screen and narrate it yourself, or you can record your narration onto each of the slides. Now, the way you do that is you're again going to stay in media. You're going to click on audio. And one of the options there is record voiceover. Now, it's important to remember that you can't record the voiceover for your whole presentation all at once. You have to record it in Adobe Express on each slide. So I'm going to say record voiceover. Okay, and you notice it's picking up my voice. I click start recording. Nights were an important part of the feudal system. Now you'll notice this audio is now attached to this slide, and I can play it and listen to it by hitting the play button. To record the video for the next slide, I have to click to the next slide and click record voiceover again. And repeating this process, you can narrate your entire slideshow. And when you're ready, you can share it by saying present, and you can see all of your slides.